When you're a director, you read a play and you go, if I saw this and someone else had done it, I'd hate them for doing it when I didn't have a chance to do it.
It was pretty tense, wasn't it?
Very intense, very intense. Like, literally, you just didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, you're on the edge of your seat. I was quite pleased that you're not further along in the pregnancy, because I think you may have gone into labour.
The tension by the end of the first half is like, oh, and then you're like, what the hell's going to happen next?
Lots of gasping and lots of not being able to hear a pin drop throughout it. And to me, that's great theatre.
We're showing humanity at its most dark and painful, and trying to find compassion within that for these characters as an actor is one of the hardest things to do, I would say, because, I think for everyone it's like we're playing despicable people who are doing despicable things, and we're showing the basis that life has to offer. So that was probably the most challenging part for me personally.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, the writing is so muscular and visceral, and like you can't come away and like not have a reaction. Like, reading it, like even my heart was skipping then. So actually, like, bringing it to life, and it's such an incredible world that he's created, and there is poetry in it. Like, there is so much ugliness, but the language he picks is just so
it's
creative,
incredibly specific, isn't it?
Yeah, you instantly forget that it's Orlando Bloom. It's all about the character. Obviously, he's a good-looking guy. You can't take that away from him, but you don't see that.
I hadn't noticed.
Did you not notice?
Oh, I hadn't noticed that, no.
He is actually quite good-looking.
Right.
I played Chris, who is he's a drug dealer, and he's a little scrappy guy just trying to survive and trying to keep his head above the water, and trying to be a big man when he's not really a big man. And he takes out a contract on his mother's life to pay off a drug debt, to save his own life, and that's where we meet Killer Joe. And because it's the usual run-of-the-mill story. It happens all the time.
I was a bit nervous about being naked right at the start of the show, and then when I did it the first time, people have got a problem with it, then they've got to look at themselves.
It's been accused of being a misogynistic play and a woman-hating play. And I think it's possible to do a thesis interpreting it like that. But it's also equally possible, and I hope that's what we do, is to show how men abuse women in many different ways, directly and overtly in the way that Killer Joe does, and subtly and by neglect in the way that a father does, and the way that a brother does, and it shows men to be not in a very great light at all, really. It shows the easy abuse and neglect that men have over women.
We had an amazing team who were very, very sensitive to the material and very on the specificity of it all. So it felt very real. It felt like a very real and dark world.
And it felt very fresh as well. Like, you can watch as many things as you want, but it really, like, in times, especially with Dottie, like, bridges almost like a supernatural kind of vibe. There's definitely like an otherworldliness. So, and we all found that just through like improvisations and just being, in the space and free. And the set gives you so much.
It's absolutely right that when we were talking about whether we should do this play now, the conversation we had was it would be cowardly not to do it now that we have the opportunity to, because that would seem like we were afraid of combating that and having that conversation. And at the same time, it's just a brilliant piece of writing. It's a brilliant, darkly comic thriller. So it's not a play to come to expecting political commentary. It's there for you to read into it if you want. But at the other point, it's just amazing, and it's funny, and it's dark, and it's sassy, and it's sharp, and it's all the good things, and also happens to be, I think, if you want to really get under the skin of it, an interesting commentary on where we are at the moment.